Hello everybody on the internet, YouTube, welcome back to The Sims 2 Pleasantview. I know, it's been months. Sorry, I've had a little bit of a busy time lately and had some issues with my Pleasantview as well that I've been slowly working through. And I have actually been doing a little bit of work in this town off camera, but today I thought I would record a renovation of this lot for you. This is 210 Wright Way in Pleasantview. It's a big sort of dollhouse, you know, kind of inspired build, and it is one of my favorite lots actually, but it's got the classic Max's problem of a layout that makes absolutely no sense and terrain that is uneven and lumpy and bumpy, and you know, has all these height differences and stuff for you know, like no real reason. So you can see here, one of the first things that I'm doing is actually going through and lowering the terrain a little bit. It is still raised up a little bit. It's just raised up by 4 clicks, or like one set of stairs from the front of the lot, and then the back of the lot I flattened out significantly, but again, it's still got a few lumpies and bumpies in there, just, you know, to honor the original intent of the lot, I guess. But yeah, so this is 210 Wright Way. It is a really fun lot. It's just, yeah, it just needs some love and attention. So the way that I approached this lot, I kind of went with this, you know, French inspired, really luxurious renovation. I think this house is kind of like, you know, the house that you aim to buy when you're playing The Sims 2 in Pleasantview. It's like in The Sims 1, the house that you were aiming to buy was that mansion, you know, across the water and everything, and it was like the ultimate goal. This is like the ultimate goal for my Sims in Pleasantview, is to buy this house. And I have achieved it once. Last time I was playing Pleasantview, before I even started my YouTube series, I had Lucy Burb marry Francis J. Worthington III, who is one of the Sims who is in La Fiesta Tech, so he came with university, and they bought this house and raised their family in it, and it was really fun because, you know, Lucy was, you know, very rich after marrying Francis J. Worthington, because he was very rich too, and they were very successful and had a wonderful life. But so yeah, one of the first things that I did was to take out a lot of the walls, because again, the layout of this house is just, it's just a mess. There's interior rooms, which is one of my pet peeves, with no windows. There's just, you know, weirdly shaped rooms that make no sense. Yeah, it's a mess. And then I wanted to use this staircase here. This is the grand sweeping staircase, which was halved by a creator on Mod The Sims. But it's a little bit weird because they separated the railing from the stairs, and they slaved the stairs to the grand sweeping staircase for its recolors, but they didn't slave the railings. So I think I might have to remake that because it's really annoying, and I end up not being able to use it because of that. But anywho, so fireplaces. This house has a lot of fireplaces. Originally, there's like 3 fireplaces. I decided to give it 1 fireplace, which is in this main big area that I cleared out in the downstairs for living and entertaining. And I used this Centennial fireplace, I think it's called, which is a conversion from The Sims 3 by, I think it's by Nutmegger, and I think you can download it on Mod The Sims, as well as all the recolors that Michelle did for it, which are really nice. And then this little outdoor patio area I end up wanting to keep. There are 2 different sort of outdoor patio areas that I keep. That front one I keep. I do just make it a little bit smaller, and yeah, I'm using a lot of sort of big open glass, sort of, again, French inspired windows and doors. I believe those ones there are from the summer build set, which is really nice. And yeah, I loved the French inspiration for this lot. For some reason it just struck me as very French, but I really love French decor, as it just is like a style. And I love like the chateau kind of look, and I love, yeah, anyway, you get it. So moving on, this is the other sort of main porch area, or like patio area, sorry, not a porch. Porch is out the front, patio out the back, right? And this one I wanted to do like covered in ivy and leaves, and not actually have a roof on apart from that, because it is a fairly large patio, and I thought a roof would just look a bit too big, look a bit too funny. So yeah, I'm just doing some beam work in here, which you can see, and then I'm going to start fiddling around with plants and try to figure out how I'm going to cover it all in with leaves. I wanted to use the new Shiftable Everything mod by Lamar, which is incredibly helpful. So I do end up using that, but I also do end up still using OMSPs. The combination of Shift Everything and OMSPs, wow, like amazing. But yeah, I wanted to I ended up using these 90-degree angle OMSPs to turn the ivy over and have it sit flat so that then it could create that kind of roof-ish look. And then I had to just work out how high the OMSPs needed to be. I was hoping that I was going to be able to sit them on ground level on that upper floor, but it didn't end up working because the leaves were too high, so then I ended up having to take them down to the lower floor but shift them upwards, which you can sort of see me doing here. Once I figured out the right height, I just had to, shift them all to be the same. So yes, that is what I ended up doing there. So in terms of the Pleasantview series, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what's happened to it. Is it coming back? When will it come back? If it is coming back, what's the deal, the Addict? Yes, it will come back eventually. It's just taking me a lot longer than I originally anticipated to get everything made over. So just as a reminder, in case you forgot, the reason that Pleasantview went on hiatus was because I completely redid my downloads folder, so all of my custom content. And what that meant was that I was suddenly faced with the task of checking every single lot to see if I had, renovated it, and making sure that all the content was still there, and if it wasn't still there, renovating it so that it looked normal. So I've slowly but surely been making my way through every single lot in Pleasantview, in downtown, and in Bluewater Village, and checking that the lot looks all right in terms of the custom content. But also in cases like this one, I've been making over the lots if I hadn't made them over before, because I wanted to do that to just make everything look pretty. And I prefer to renovate things before my Sims actually move in. If we do have Sims move into this lot, now they'll be able to move in with it looking beautiful already without having to spend a small fortune to redo the layout and floors and walls and roofs and everything. Sorry about my dogs, oh my word. Sorry, that was so loud. But yeah, so everything's going to be made over ahead of time, and that's the plan. So I have, as I mentioned, been working off camera. It's a huge job, and I don't have a lot of time these days because, like for example, I've tried to record this voiceover now like 3 or 4 times, and the baby woke up and pooped himself, and then he needed to be fed, and then he was awake, so I was entertaining him, and then I decided to make some cookies while he was awake, and I don't know, it's just, I'm busy. But I am working on it. It will be coming back eventually, and I also have something else in store, something else that I'm planning to do with The Sims 2, so stay tuned. No, sorry, not The Sims 2, The Sims 3. So yeah, stay tuned to the channel because there is content upcoming, and I am feeling like Aiden and I are now in a much better routine, and my baby and I are now, I can sort of predict, when he's going to be asleep, when he's going to be awake. I'm more comfortable with leaving him, with some toys and letting him entertain himself, or leaving him in his swing. I don't know. So yeah, there's stuff in the works, guys. There is a lot of stuff in the works, and I have been working when I have had opportunity off camera, as I mentioned. But yeah, focusing back on the reno, so the door is a really cool set, and the windows, the doors and windows. This is a set called the Panelled Set by Rainus, and I believe it's on the Sims resource. I could be wrong, but it comes with some really, really lovely windows of lots of different heights, and every single window has like a 2-tiled centered version as well, which makes me so happy. I love when people do that, I love when creators do that. So I end up replacing all of the windows around the build with windows from that set, and the front door as well. You can sort of see it's really cool. It comes with a set of 3 or 4 different styles of doors, and then it comes with side windows, which I really loved as well. But now we're back inside. So inside I went with this beautiful, slightly shiny parquetry for the flooring in this main floor. Oh, and here's where I realized I had no recolors for the stairs. So I went and downloaded some recolors, and then I was like, oh, these are very nice. Got them from, Michelle. But then, yeah, so the railings, you can see there, they don't have the recolors because they're not slaved to the original grand sweeping staircase. Then I was like, oh, crap. I'm not going to be able to use these stairs, and I'm going to have to use something else because I'm just not happy with the way this looks. So I end up changing them completely for these, like, 90-degree angle stairs by Inga Jones, yeah. And I used those instead. But yeah, it was unfortunate. I will remake those other stairs because they're really cool. It's a really cool concept. Now, the paneling that I use in here is a Sims 4 conversion by, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on who does it, but they have a fantastic Tumblr. And the original panels were made by Peacemaker, I see, who is one of my favorite Sims 4 custom content creators, FYI. But yeah, so this is his Simply Splendid paneling. And so we use that in here as well. And I thought the combination of those, like shiny parquetry floors with the paneling just looked so luxurious, so rich, so fabulous. And that made me really happy. Of course, having the fireplace in the middle of the build made it so I had a chimney stack coming up through the middle of the build, which is fine. I love details like that in houses. I like to, you know, work around things like that and kind of use that to influence how the layout turns out. So we do have a chimney stack coming up through the middle of the lot, but we work around it, we make it work. And in terms of the layout, you can already kind of see I'm slowly starting to work it out, and I'm working as I go, but we end up with, I think, like 4 very generous sized bedrooms plus like a little room that could be used as a study. And the master suite up on the top floor is quite large as well. So very, very generous sized rooms because this is such a big lot. Also, the hallways are really generous sized, like they're 4 tiles wide. 4 tile wide hallways, yeah. Oh yeah, and here's some more of that perfectly panelled set from Renus as well. So yeah, the top floor, it's got like a master suite, it's got a bedroom plus a bathroom, and then the second floor has a little study, 2 bedrooms and a bathroom as well. So lots and lots of space for your Sims in this house, and the rooms are so huge, you know, you could easily have them be double rooms, you know, twin share rooms, whatever you wanted to do. You could fit a lot of Sims in here basically. But yeah, so that's the master suite up there, and then that's that second floor. I've seen a lot of people who have turned this lot into like apartments or had it be a retirement home or something like that. I prefer to leave it as a house just because, again, in my head canon, it's like it's the mansion house. It's the one that you want to try to save up and be able to buy. So that's why I didn't transform it into apartments or anything like that. But I am thinking of doing that with some of the other lots in the hood. Right, so here is the kitchen, and I have this Le Cuisinier French cooker, and I don't know where I got it from, but I absolutely love it. How beautiful is that gigantic stove? Oh my word. And then I ended up wanting to stick with the original Chesmoy Maxis counters that were originally in here because I thought they were good, and obviously they're French, and that was the vibe I was going for. So yeah, we leave those original counters in here. I do recolor them, and then yeah, we put that gigantic cooker. And then I mix and match for the upper cabinets. I end up using some from the heavy wood set, which is a set that I have raved about in many of my previous renovations and speed builds. Again, it's on the Sims resource, and it is fantastic. It's by Ms. Barrows. It's absolutely amazing. You get a kitchen, you get bedrooms, you get living rooms, you get everything in the heavy wood super set. So yeah, I mixed and matched some of the upper cabinets from that set, and I thought that ended up looking quite nice because they were similar enough that it worked. And yeah, plenty of light in the kitchen as well. I do leave those windows in, which I thought looked nice. And yeah, I left it as like an open plan sort of dining area down there as well. So way less interior walls in this house after my renovation for sure. So yeah, big French country kitchen diner was the vibe I was going for, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I think it looks quite nice. I wanted to try to put a trash compactor in, but I didn't have one that matched. And then I also wanted to put a dishwasher in. So I have these really cool island appliances. I can't remember who made those, so I put a dishwasher in the island counter, and I can't remember if I end up even putting a trash compactor in or if I just go, nah, whatever. Because did you know trash compactors are not really a thing here in Australia? Like, it is very rare to go into a kitchen and see a trash compactor, so I was like, I'll just go without. And now finally I'm going to go and paint the outside of the lot. And I end up making it all this beautiful stone texture. And the stone is a conversion from The Sims 4. I think it's cottage brick maybe from The Sims 4 Cottage Living. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it was. And I was going to do just the bottom floor in stone and then do the top floors in weatherboard or like paneling like it originally was, sideboard like it originally was. But I ended up deciding to make the whole thing stone just to make it really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like really like statuesque, like it's very, very solid, very rich, and I don't know, just stone for an entire 3-story house. I feel like makes it look a lot older, a lot grander, a lot nicer, a lot richer than if I'd gone with the clapboard siding for the top floors. So that's what we do there. And of course, yes, I'm going through and replacing the rest of the windows, which I also didn't do before. I only did the bottom floor. So yeah, just again using that paneled set by Rhenus. I highly recommend that set. The only issue I have with it is that it was cloned from some windows and doors that obviously had that blue tinged Maxxis glass. So unfortunately the glass does have that really annoying Maxxis blue tinge to it rather than being clear. So that's a little bit of a drawback, but I'll take it. I'll deal, I'll make do. So yeah, that's kind of what the outside of the house looks like now. And I realized, like looking at the build now, I'm actually thinking I might recolor the roof because I left it gray, but I think that's too much gray. So yes, I think I will actually go back in and recolor that roof. Yes, I'll do that when I go back in to take some screenshots. That's fine. I also just went ahead and put a little bit more ivy growing up this side of the build here. Originally there was a door that sort of came out there leading around to the back veranda, but I got rid of that door because I just didn't think it was necessary. So yeah, now I just covered it in ivy instead. And then in terms of like the front yard, so I do pick out a really nice fence. It's called the Abbey fence. I want to say it's by Windkeeper, but I don't know for sure, and it's probably from the Sims resource. And then, yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks very nice. And then I'm like, oh, I should put in a driveway. Oh, wait, I should put in a double driveway. So I do end up, yeah, putting in a double driveway because we had enough space for it, and I thought, you know, that would make a lot of sense to have a lot of room for parking your luxury cars. And another really easy thing you could do with this lot as well is build on a garage on the side, which would probably look very nice as well. You would just have to fiddle around a bit with the floor elevation, unfortunately, because again, the lot is so slopey. And then I wanted to put a front gate here leading into the house, but I wasn't happy with any of my gates and the way they were working in with that fence, and it's 3 tiles wide, the footpath, so I had to, like, it would have had to be a 1 tile wide gate to go in the middle, and that looked too small, and so I ended up just deleting that part of the fence. Just got some rose bushes lining the front walkway there, and I recently downloaded a default replacement of all of the Maxxis base game plants by T Vicky Sims on Tumblr, and that's her default replacement for the rose bushes. So beautiful, I absolutely love it, so highly recommend checking that out. I'll put a link for that down in the description, as well as the Shift Everything mod that I've mentioned before, because yeah, it's stunning. She's done some beautiful default replacements for those plants. But yeah, so excuse me, just going ahead and fiddling a little bit more with the very slopey terrain, and then I'm going to go through and start replacing some trees. In terms of outdoor landscaping, I tried to keep it relatively simple. It's got lots of trees, it's got that nice like pine tree row along the side of the lot, but I didn't want to go too crazy with a lot of outdoor plants because the maintenance on this lot would just be absolutely ridiculous. So I used these beautiful humongous ground cover plants, which Suratan converted from The Sims 4, and I really like those. And then I went a little bit ham with hydrangea bushes. So again, that's another of the default replacements that T Vicky did, and they're just so beautiful that I end up using so many of them. I think they're one of my new favorite plants to use, as well as a couple more Sims 4 to 2 conversions. I do really love Sims 4 to 2 plants. That's one of my favorite conversions. I find in general, I really struggle to make the aesthetic of the Sims 4 furniture match with the Sims 2, but the plants, I love those conversions, so I do tend to use those a lot. And then yeah, we're just starting some work on some terrain paint. I do sort of keep in a lot of that original clover leaf that was all over the yard because I think it looks nice. But yeah, it's way simpler. There's a lot less pathing, and they have, you know, the house now has much more of a big back lawn for kids to run and play on. You could install a pool. Yeah, there's a lot more scope for opportunity there now that I've flattened it out quite significantly. Oh, and yes, now I'm like, oh, sorry if you can hear my washing machine as well, by the way, beeping in the background. It's just telling me it's done. But yes, now I have come to the rotunda, which I completely rebuilt. I made it a little smaller because originally the rotunda had steps that were 3 tiles wide, but the path was only 2 tiles wide, which I thought was really dumb. So I made the whole rotunda like a 2 by 4, I guess. That's the size. Something like that, I don't know. But yeah, and then I use these really cool lattice covers for around the edge, but unfortunately the diagonals don't work at all because there's a big stretch, so I end up just covering that with more hydrangea bushes. So you can kind of see that it's a bit dodgy, but it looks passable to me anyway. Yeah, just fiddling with the sloping of the terrain here because this is even higher, and just trying to get things to look gradual, to look smooth is a bit challenging, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So yeah, more clover, terrain paint, and then we pop a little rotunda roof on that one, which I think looks beautiful. And then I do actually go ahead and replace those stairs as well because they weren't quite white enough. So we just recolor these wooden deck stairs. This is part of the bespoke build set. You get all these stair recolors, which are really nice. Yeah. So that's, yeah, and then I get rid of a lot of that back veranda area as well because I didn't want to add extra roofing and I thought it wasn't necessary, so I just got rid of it. So there's like a tiny little sort of patio entrance there as you come out that door from the kitchen, but that's pretty much it otherwise, which I thought looked quite nice. Alright, so heading back inside now, I think, yeah, I'm going to fiddle around now with half walls a little bit. Now, the only problem with these 90-degree angle rotator stairs is that you can't actually block off that top corner the way that it would make sense that you would be able to, but it's okay. I end up just using some half walls and just leaving it open because that was the best I could do. And then we're going to very soon start painting the rest of the interior walls. I think, yeah, go ahead and change up that floor tile first, which is all good. Oh, and I think by the end of the build, I also changed the texture of the countertop as well, to be honest. That kitchen goes through a few changes yet. I have so many floor tiles. Yeah, here we go. I changed the floor tile and then I was like, oh, now I've got a touch of brown in here. Maybe I could make the countertops more of like a brown tone. So I do that, and I think I do really like how that turned out too. I was tempted to go with a very bright color, like a blue, but I didn't. So yeah, that's what that looks like. And there was a plant clipping through the wall, so I got rid of that, trying to get better with that kind of thing. Yeah, so now I'm starting to pick out some wall covers, and originally I was gonna paint the walls in these like block colors, and then I'm like, I got to the master bedroom and I wanted to do a feature wall in wallpaper, and I ended up finding this really, really beautiful wallpaper with this really tiny little floral pattern on it, and to me it just looked so quintessentially French that I was like, I think this is perfect. I think I need to use this wallpaper. And I think I get away with it because the rooms are so large. The pattern is quite busy. You can kind of see there. Again, sorry about my washing machine telling me it's done. Yeah, the pattern is quite busy, but I think because the rooms are so big, you kind of get away with it. And it kind of gave me this like, yeah, almost like Pride and Prejudice-y vibe. And I thought the wallpapers looked really, really cute, so that's what we ended up going with. Originally the bathrooms, I left the original floor tile in and had white walls, but the bathrooms do go through a few changes. This one here is the master ensuite, and it's very generous in size, as you can see. There's so much space in this lot. Why not have a gigantic ensuite? You know what I mean? Like, might as well. Oh, and that was when I remembered I can recolor fireplaces. Very helpful. I mean, chimneys. Yes, I can recolor chimneys, so I go ahead and do that. But yeah, so I end up putting in a double shower, a clawfoot bath, a toilet, and a huge his and hers bathroom vanity as well. So there's a lot of space in this ensuite. It is very, very generous. I would die to have an ensuite this size. We do have an ensuite in real life, which is really nice, obviously, but in terms of like, I guess if I were to recreate it in The Sims, it would be like a 3x2 sized room, I think. Yeah. And for the counters, I go with more Chesmoy counters, but I made them this sort of like really deep, almost black dark brown which I loved. I thought it looked really, really different and fun rather than having all white counters. And because of those brown tones that I use there, I end up redoing the bathrooms in brown. Oh, and this was fun. I just decided to put this old wardrobe up in the master bedroom, just as a little quirk. I don't know if you guys have moved house much, but I sure have. And often you find old wardrobes will kind of come with a house when you move in. So I was kind of making up this story in my head as I put that wardrobe in there, that like, you know, the wardrobe was so big and heavy and it was on the 3rd floor. So when the previous owners moved out, they couldn't be bothered trying to carry it back down the stairs because it was going to be too much work. So they just left it in there. So yeah, the master bedroom does have a huge wardrobe in it just for fun. And then, yeah, so I started working on this second sort of just family bathroom. There are 2 family bathrooms plus the ensuite, and I went with the same counters, and yeah, they had those beautiful sort of brown tones in them, so I was like, oh, maybe I should go with a more brown tone for the bathrooms rather than the sort of white on white. So that's what we do, and I think that looks quite lovely as well. I just wanted to get more tile in the shower there, so I end up matching it in with something or other. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so the bathrooms are very simple. I was running out of time and energy by this point in the build, to be honest. It was getting quite late last night and I had to finish recording soon so I could go and feed my baby and give him a bath. So yeah, they are quite simple. One of the bathrooms just has a shower and a toilet. I think the other one I put in a shower bath tub combo, just for a little bit of variation, or maybe I put a bath in both. Oh, maybe I do put a bath in both. Okay, so yeah, this one has the combo, but the other one just has a bath and a shower separately. Right. Yeah, so just for a little bit of variation. But otherwise, they're very simple bathrooms. And now, last but not least, I'm going to go through and add lighting because I hadn't done it yet. So I add lights to all of the outdoor areas so you can see when you're outside. And then I have these beautiful little mini chandeliers. Most of my custom content lights are by Dot on the Sims resource, but I also have some 4:2 conversions that I make use of. And then we go with just some Axis lights on the other floors. So this is pretty much all I do to this lot. I'll chuck in some comparison screenshots for you guys now so you can kind of see the difference between the before and after for this lot. Alright, so that's the original front. I pulled those screenshots from the wiki page, by the way, because I forgot to take original screenshots. But yeah, that's what it now looks like in my game. This is the rear compared with my new one. You'll notice that I also took off the sort of like really high steeple from the front because I thought it looked funny. Yeah. That is the sort of side patio originally compared to my renovated version of it. I think it looks really nice. And then I've also got a shot here of the back pergola because, I don't know, I thought it was pretty. This was the original vibe of the interior. I think that's the original dining room maybe. And this is now the vibe of the interior. So very bright, very light and beautiful and French. The original kitchen was very small, very pokey, not a lot of space. So I have completely opened it up, made it much bigger and knocked down that mid wall so that it's now an open plan with that dining space that you can see there. And I think that looks a lot better. That is the master bedroom, so that shows you that beautiful French floral wallpaper, and this is the master ensuite, just to give you an idea of the sort of vibes that we've gone for in there. That's the original downstairs layout. Yeah. And then this is my new one, so much more open, basically, is the changes I made. That is the second floor originally compared with my version of the second floor. So yeah, there's that small office and then 2 very, very large bedrooms. You could make those bedrooms smaller if you wanted to, for sure. Third floor originally versus third floor now with that gigantic master. Walk-in wardrobe would definitely be doable. But yeah, so you can kind of see there, I've gotten rid of on the right hand side that turret kind of originally goes up an extra floor, and I just got rid of that because I didn't like it. But that is it. That is my renovation of 210 Wright Way. I hope that you enjoyed it. Leave any thoughts, suggestions and comments down below. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it and hit subscribe and the notification bell there. As I promised, will be a return to Pleasantview coming at some point in the future, as well as some other exciting things. So I hope that you're excited. I hope that you all have a fantastic rest of your day, rest of your week. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.